What's up guys, Ricky Arnold here. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to actually be working with Adobe Premiere, and I've been thinking about it because I've been doing quite a few projects in the past couple weeks on Adobe Premiere with my job and everything, and I've been getting to thinking that a lot of what I do has to do with a certain type of workflow. So when you edit videos, you edit photos, stuff like that, do any kind of creative job, you'll hear that word workflow a lot. And what that basically is your process of getting your footage put onto your computer, getting it all uploaded, putting it into your editing software, and your entire process for editing that footage or those photos or anything like that, and how you get that kind of streamlined so that when you're done with a shoot, you can quickly get all that stuff, put it into a project, and get it done and get it out to you guys. So with that workflow in mind, I kind of came up with a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys 5 quick tips on how to improve your workflow in Adobe Premiere. Let's go. Now that we're in Adobe Premiere Pro, let's go ahead and get into the very first tip that I want to give you guys real quick, and that is just some basic organization, you guys. So the first thing that I always like to do when I open a project, actually, you know what, I do this before I even open the project. I go ahead and if I get my project folder out right here, so this is their project folder, this is a wedding video, like I said, I'm doing for a couple. And the first thing I like to do is I take every bit of my footage and I actually catalog it and put it into folders before I import it into Premiere. So if you do that, you basically can put everything into a folder, and if you take these folders and just, hold shift, copy them all, and drag them and drop them over into a Premiere, I'm not going to do it again because obviously they're there, but if you do that, they will actually import into Premiere in those folders, and all of your audio you put in, you can go ahead and click on it and it's there. All of your, the bride and groom solos that I have, they're all right here. I can go ahead and go like this and mess around with it, do whatever I want. And then I can, pretty much do whatever I want with all my footage. And it's just a lot more condensed, consolidated, and it will give you guys a lot easier of a time to find the footage you want to find because you cataloged it yourself and it is right where you wanted it to go. Another thing going along with organization is actually organizing your Premiere windows. So if you don't know already, if you guys are new to this, you can actually drag and drop your windows pretty much anywhere you want within the program, and you can pretty much set up a workspace exactly how you want it. That way every time you get into Premiere and you're going to go ahead and do a video, you can actually have it set up the exact way you want it every time. So say this is my assembly workspace. When I edit, I actually use 2 different screens, and obviously you're not going to be able to see them right here because Shadowplay is only going to record one of my screens, but normally I have my one editing window here and one editing window here. But for this instance right here, I'm going to show you my assembly pane. This is all in one screen. If you actually get all these things, you adjust a couple of things. You can adjust things up, adjust things down, side to side, whatever. You can hide certain things. You can make sure your effects pane is here. If you wanted it over here, you can drag it, drop it over there. I'm going to bring it back like that just because I like my effects right there. And then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and go up to your assembly pane, which is what we're working on right here. Right click it, and then you just say save changes to this workspace. And then when you open Premiere from then on, it's gonna actually come in exactly like this, and you're gonna be ready to edit. Now moving on to the second tip that I wanna give you guys, and if you guys are new, again, this will actually help you guys out a lot if you get used to what I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about. So the second thing I want you guys to focus on is learning keyboard shortcuts. As you can see right here, I actually don't even have my tools pane up, which is what most people click on to do cuts and do rate stretches or anything like that. But if you want to get it back, you can just go up to Window, select Tools, and they'll be right back there. The reason I don't even have them on my window right here is because I don't even need to use them because I know the keyboard shortcuts and how to use each one of these. So obviously, Type Tool, if you wanted to type something, you just press T and you can go ahead and make some type right there. And edit your type right there. If you don't want to do it, press Control Z and it takes something away. So just learn the basic keyboard shortcuts, like Control Z, it goes back and it takes away when you're edits. C and V is the most very important ones because C is going to be making cuts. You're going to do a lot of cuts when you're editing, so learn that C is to make cuts, and then just press V again to start moving clips around in your timeline. So C and V, very important. And then one really cool hack that I'm going to teach you guys along with this tip is that if you want to duplicate something in your timeline, I'll zoom in right here. So say like, see this transition that I got right here? Watch this. So we got a little cool little light leak transition to our drone shot right here. And if you guys want to duplicate that and bring it on over to another clip like I have right here, see I have this. So say I don't have this right here, let's go ahead and delete that. All you got to do is you got to go to this transition right here, select it, hold Alt down, and then click it and drag it over. Easy as that. And now you have a duplicated transition right there. And for the longest time, when I was new, I actually never knew that. And when I wanted to duplicate something, I was literally going like this, going copy, and then going over here and going paste, and it was gonna paste it over here. And then just doing that over and over again. But you will save yourselves, in the long run, editing a video, because it takes a few hours sometimes. In the long run, you will save yourself a ton of time by just learning that little simple shortcut and duplicating things over using Alt and holding that button down. So again, learn some keyboard shortcuts and you will save yourself a lot of time over the course of your editing session. Tip number 3 is using presets, you guys. So there's a lot of different kinds of presets you can use with Premiere, but I really suggest that you guys find a couple presets that you like to edit all of your videos with and just keep those somewhere where you know you're gonna be able to grab them, throw them onto your timeline, and use them at will, because it'll save you a ton of time from having to pretty much just take your, if you're gonna use an audio preset, you'll have to go in here, you'll have to go to your effect controls pane and adjust every one of these levels, go to the effects pane and go ahead and grab like a whole bunch of audio effects one by one and then adjust those. But if you go ahead and make your own presets, or purchase them online, if you want to edit this audio right here, see I have a preset for audio right here that I bought from Matty Hapoya. He has a YouTube channel. He's like Peter McKinnon's best friend. So I bought his audio pack, and you can see right here, all you got to do is go like this and say, this is not voice, obviously, this is just music. But if this was somebody talking, I basically would choose, hey, it's a male voice, they're outdoors, normal, and I just go like this, slide it over here and put it onto my footage, and it changes the footage. And you can go to your effect controls pane and see right here that it adds all of that different stuff on there for you, and it adjusts all your levels for you. So it saves a ton of time by having presets for your audio and for your videos as well. So I'm gonna show you a really cool preset like these ones that I got right here. Let's go ahead and put it on here. So you'll see right here, watch, it'll look like a little film roll. See? And it's just a little preset. And if you don't want it, Control Z and it's off. But if you want to, you can go ahead and drag and drop one of these like that, and look. It makes it a cool little film roll, grainy, cool looking old style type preset. So, okay, tip number 4 is having a library of music and sound effects already ready to go for when you're ready to edit a video. So you can go on to a site let me see, you can go onto a site like epidemicsound.com, or actually, what is this? This is Soundstripe. These are the two that I use mainly. And you can just download, if you have a subscription with your YouTube channel or something like that, you can actually download unlimited amounts of music and sound effects from Epidemic anyway. Soundstripe makes you pay for the sound effects, but I use this to find wedding music because they have a lot more wedding songs usually. But on Epidemic, you can download all sorts of songs, for different feels from anything like that. You can browse albums, whatever, and you can download all your sound effects. And then once you have them all downloaded, I would just suggest making a folder that has all your sound effects or something like that in it, categorize them by what they are, and then have them there at your disposal for when you're ready to edit. That way you can just drag and drop it into your project pane and you're ready to use it. It'll save you a ton of time from having to every single time go into your project and then go find a bunch of music or sound effects that you want to use. So if you already have a folder ready that has a bunch of music, I have music for videos right here, I just download a bunch of music that I like sometimes, and I leave it all in there, so that way when I'm ready to make a video, I can just take a song, throw it in there, and it's ready to go. Alright, and my 5th and final quick tip for you guys today in this video is using adjustment layers to use LUTs and color correction. So the really cool thing about using adjustment layers is that whatever you make, if you make any kind of correction on your footage, you can actually just go to this little eyeball track input toggle and you can just turn it off if you don't like it. So see, I already put on this adjustment layer, I already put my black bars on it, so that way I can toggle it on and off if I want to. Or something like this, in the very beginning of the video, I made this cool little thing happen right here with the black bars as it happens, and I can turn that off if I want to. But in the case of color correcting, this is super handy, because if you were to go in and color correct each individual little clip in your videos, especially if you're doing like a wedding video or something like that, it's gonna take you an insane amount of time to do every single clip that's in your video. So granted, I do go through and I make sure each clip looks right when I watch it, just for, you know, color correction for my clients and whatnot. But I do an overall color correction that I want to add to every bit of my footage first. And then after that, I go back in, watch the video, and I make little minute corrections if I need to. Because the main goal, especially, this should be the main goal for everybody that's shooting video, or photos actually, and that is to get the proper colors right out of your camera. And if you have the right settings in the first place, you don't have to do too much tweaking in post. So if you use an adjustment layer, like I'm saying, you can go to your color panel right here. Oh, let me actually fix my window here because I have this set up differently. Let me go ahead and give you guys a little color, preview pane right here. So if you go into your Lumetri color panel right here, you can see that in the creative tab, you can actually add LUTs to your footage right here. So you can actually just scroll through these and look at a bunch of them, or you can use your own. And then all you gotta do is click on it and it applies it to the footage. So say I wanted to go with like this kind of look, I can do that right there. And with your adjustment layer selected, if you put that color correction on that adjustment layer, you can toggle it on or off. And then you can just make sure that you have the exact color correction for your footage that you want. So I already, I already like that. That actually looks pretty cool, as a matter of fact. So it'll save you a lot of time from having to color correct each different piece of footage, and it will just like apply it to every single piece that you already have in your timeline, and it will do it a lot faster and more effective than going through and then like saying if you put that on one piece of your footage and you can do this, you can obviously copy and then you can go like this and paste the attributes of it on there, and it'll ask you if you want to paste the Lumetri color to it. But like I said, doing that is going to take you forever, and then you have to go back, if you want to edit it, you have to go back in there and take it off already. So this just makes it super easy. You can toggle it on and off, and then if you want to go back and change it, all you got to do is go like this, go to none, and then your footage is back to normal. And say you wanted to add your own LUTs, because I have my own that I've bought or that I've created, you just go to browse somewhere in your computer where you have them. So I keep mine obviously in these folders right here. Let's go ahead and use my color correction tab right here, LUT pack that I use, LUTs. Let's add, which one? Let's add caveat. See, that already looks pretty cool anyway. It's obviously pretty intense. I'll usually go down to like maybe 60. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then we just go like this, play the footage back, make sure it looks pretty cool. And honestly, I think that looks pretty awesome. And with the adjustment layer toggled, you can make sure you have it on that footage. And another cool thing you can do is, so say it looks good for this drone footage, but maybe it doesn't look good for okay, well in this case it does look good for this shot, whatever. But sometimes maybe it doesn't look so good for another clip. So you can go ahead and go like this and actually make a cut into your adjustment layer, and then you can actually tweak that part of the adjustment layer. So you can go like this and go back to none, and it will make that back to its normal state. And you can go like this and say I wanted to make it, let's make it this one. And there you go. So now they're both two different adjustment layers now, and they have two different color corrections on them. So in the whole case of color correcting, you guys, in the grand scheme of things, this will save you a ton of time, because you'll be able to go in and you'll actually be able to color correct just one adjustment layer, drag it, drop it onto all your footage, and you're done. So that's my fifth and final tip for you guys, and I hope you guys really enjoyed those. Okay, so that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please make sure you leave the video a like. Make sure you guys leave me some comments down below if you guys have any questions on anything I discussed in this video, or if you guys have any more tips to add that you guys can help the fellow creators that come to this channel out with. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, and that way you guys can be notified when I come out with something next. And if you guys want to see more stuff like this, please let me know. I really enjoy doing videos like this about my photography and videography skills. So if you guys want to see more, hit that like button like I said and let me know about it. But until the next video, you guys, I gotta get out of here, so I will see you later. Bye.